Hello Professor, my name is Mihir Patel and I'm presenting my Java files regarding the final Java test. So there were four programs given in the PDF. So the first program which I'm presenting right now is happyface.java. So in this program we were told to use JavaFX to program to display the graphical user interface. So I have included the JavaFX add-ons and then I've created a public class happy face. In that I have created a circle. I'll just run my program beside CPD. So first I created a circle with the radius of 150. Then I have created an ellipsis like left eye and set the color to white and the outer lines to black. Then I created right eye and same thing as the left eye, color set to white and the lines were black. Then I created pupil for both eyes, circles, black circles in it. So then I set the color of the pupils to black as shown in the PDF. Then I created the smile using multiple attributes, multiple functions. Then nextly I created a nose using the polygon function to give it the nose and set it to transparent and the lines to black. Then I gather all the things at one place at stack pan. And then I set all of the things to the specific place. Like I first set the left eye, the right eye, the left eye in the circle. Then I set the right eye in the circle. Then I set the left pupil over the inside the left eye and the right pupil inside the right eye. Then I set the nose just below the eyes and the last I set the smile in the face and then I set the whole scene on the primary stage. So that was my first program, happyface.java. Moving on to the next program, the moving fan. In this program we were told to use swing to create this program. So first of all I created a public class called moving fan. Then I created private Java panel and two buttons to use it in the program to rotate the circle in clockwise and counterclockwise. So first I set the width and height of the program. Then I used 2D graphics to set the color and the animation in it. The first nextly I took the width from above and the height. Then I'll just start my program beside this so it will be easy. So first I set the width, height and the diameter to set the circle in the panel. Then integer x and integer y, which is like on two sides of the circle. Then I set the color to white of the circle. Then I gave integer creator integer radius and diameter for the circle. Then uh, I created an integer variable called angle step 40 at 45 degree, which you can see it's filled white and the fan is shown in blue I used endo step and for loop to set the colors in the fan and the remaining part. So I set the basic stroke to zero to black, and I created a circle. Then below it, as you can see, I created two buttons clockwise and counterclockwise. So I made the action listeners for both of those. Then I added both of the button to the panel below the circle. Then I created action performed by both of the button, like the when the user clicks the clockwise button, the angle would be shifted to minus 10 degrees, and if the user clicks the anti-clockwise button, it will be aligned to plus 10 degrees, so it will move forward. And then I have set the frame to be visible. So I'll show you my output. But first, if I click clockwise, so you can see the fan is rotating in the clockwise manner. And if I click the counterclockwise, the fan is rotating in different direction as shown in the link which you provided us in the PDF. So moving on to the third program, sorry, input exception.java. So in this program, I have created a public class input exception in which I have created three integer numbers, number one, number two, and count. And next on, I have created a while loop where I have created a condition count less or equal to 0. If the count is 0, it will enter the if else condition, ask the user to enter two integer variables, or please re-enter two integer variables. I'll show the output after explanation. So it will take the integer variable from the user and check if it's a integer variable or not, and if it's not, it will ask you must enter two integer variables or you must enter an integer variable. If it's less than one integer, it will ask please re-enter two integer variables. And once the user enters the correct values, it will come out of the while loop and it will set integer sum is equal to number 1 and number 2 entered by the user, and then it will show the output, then number 1 entered by user plus number 2 and the sum of the both numbers. So now I will run my program and show you my output. So first, as shown in the PDF, A and 3. So you can see that the program asks for you must enter two integer numbers where I have entered alphabetical characters. That's why I'll enter more alphabetic character on the other side. So still it asks for you must enter two integer numbers. Now I'll enter two alphabetic character, and it again asks for two integer numbers. Now I'll enter two different alphabetical, and you must enter integer number. So my proof. Now I'll enter two integer variables, and as you can see, it is giving the correct output, like 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So I'll close this and I'll run my program once more. Like ds and ew. So as I entered the wrong input, it asked for an integer variables, then 23. So again, you can see that it asks for two integer variables, not one. So now I'll enter two integer variables, 23 and 56. So it shows me the addition of both the numbers and shows me the output 79. And now I will run my program for the last time and show you the output. QW and ER. So you must enter two enter integer variables, not alphabetic characters. And then T and Y2. Or enter something characters. You must enter integer variable. And then 28 and 45, 73. So as you can see, it is doing all its function perfectly and showing me the output. So I'll move on to my last program, errorexception.java. So in this program, I have first created a public class errorException, in which I have created an array and a integer called rand with random numbers. So first I have initialized array with random numbers. Then I created a scanner function to get the input from the user, and next I have created a while loop which has condition like if the index is less than 0 or index is greater or equals to array length, it will move on and try and catch method, in which I have created a temporary string to use the enter and re-enter on the uh, same output statement. It will take either of that as per the situation it's needed. If the condition is true, it will display the output like array, the number entered by the user, and the array index. Or if the number is greater or out of the boundary limit, it will show out of bounds. And if it's not a number and it catch an exception like you must enter a number but you entered alphabetic character, it will show you not a number, NaN. And move to the next line, and count will be count plus 1 to remove from the while loop. So now I'll run my program and show you my output. So first it's asking me for the index value, so I'll enter 100. So it says that it's out of boundary because it exceeds the number it was expecting. So next I'll enter an alphabetical value, and it will say it needed a number. No, it's not a number, and it's alphabetical digits. So next on AB and CD, again it shows that it's not a number and it's an alphabetic character or anything else. So now I'll enter a negative value -1, and again it shows it's out of bound because it doesn't consider in the boundary limit, so it shows you the out of bound. And lastly I'll enter 7. So the as you can see over here, the array bracket index number which I entered is 7 is equal to random array index number 2. It is set to number 2. I'll close this program and run it once more. So if it's 105, it shows that it's a out of limit number. If I enter my name, it's not a number. Then I'll enter 34. So it shows me the number like array 34 index number is equal to the index is at 7. And for the last time I'll run my program and show you my output. So close the previous one and okay, so I'll enter 200, so that's out of boundary, minus 34, so that's also out of boundary because if it's a negative number. Then an alphabetic character ABC, so it shows not a number. So as you can see, it takes enter and re-enter as per it's needed. Like if it's out of boundary, the first time it will ask you to enter it, and if it's wrong it will says to re-enter the number. So it's changed whereas as it needed. So now I'll enter 23. So error 23 is index number is number 9. So that was all my programs for Java final exam. So thank you so much for your time, sir, and thank you.